Welcome back, and of course, thanks for staying with us here on Morning Live. Now, the VBS Minority Shareholders Forum say that they want VBS Mutual Bank to be restored and for everyone to get their funds back. The forum, representing both minority shareholders and depositors, addressed the media on the way forward yesterday. Now, the bank was placed under curatorship in 2018 after depositors and other creditors, which includes various municipalities, were defrauded of more than 2 billion rand between 2015 and 2018. To talk to us more about these latest developments, we are joined virtually by Robert Livhoyi, who is the Secretary of the VBS Minority Shareholders Forum. Robert, thanks so much for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Sakina, and thank for all the viewers.
Robert, it's been 6 years since the VBS Mutual Bank closed its doors. Let's just start by giving us a picture of how life has been like for the depositors and some of the shareholders who are still waiting to get their money back or any sort of money.
Yeah, the life, it's not good to some of the people, though there are some of the people who invested money who got all what they invested. So that's why I can say it's a mixed feeling.
So during your press briefing yesterday, Robert, you said that you want VBS Mutual Bank to be restored and for everyone to essentially get their funds back. So talk to us about what your thinking is around that. Why are you still fighting for the restoration of the bank, first off?
First of all, the bank was one of its own kind. You'll remember it was saving the people of the rural area. In the rural area, in most of the area, you don't have the title deed, you have the permission to occupy. So it was saving all these people who need to maybe build their own houses, and also the hawkers who were working around Toyando and everywhere. They could have time to put their money into this bank. And if you can remember the history of the bank, it's a very long history, which moves away from 1982, where so many people didn't even know other banks rather than VBS.
So, as for the people on whose behalf you speak, Robert, with the latest developments, we have seen some arrests in regard to VBS and the looting that took place at the bank. We saw the former CFO being released after a few years in prison, and now we've got Chifiwa Matodzi, who has been sent to prison. Are people happy with these developments?
Not actually happy, because remember, this is the role of the SIU and all the responsible people with people who have done the fraud or done something wrong. So the judiciary, it is the one concerned. But you'll remember that to us, it doesn't serve any purpose, because we don't get anything back. The only thing that we request to be done is that all the people who have done wrong to this bank, people who got the money unlawfully, they need to bring back the money. And you will remember that there is a liquidator who's doing his responsibility of recruiting the money from all the people who benefited from the money. So that's what we are very much interested in, that the Hawks should also attach the properties of the people who benefited unduly, so that they can recover the money.
So as we understand it, as things stand right now, Robert, an amount of about 154 million of the 2 billion that was looted has been recovered. So your view on what should happen with that money?
This system is not the first one. It will be the second one. The first one, they collected, I don't have the figure with me right now of what they collected. So what they did was that they were giving 7% to everybody who lost the money. If you lost 50,000, then they were giving you 7% of 50,000. So I hope they are still going to do the same. But we were saying, let them improve and look at the future of the bank. Because if they resuscitate, they give us a hope to, they give us an advantage to resuscitate the bank, then it means that the bank will credit all the people that lost the money from that bank.
I mean, have you had any discussions beyond yourselves with government, with Treasury perhaps regarding this? Has there been any assurance given to you by anyone that that is indeed how things will play out?
Yes, they are interested in helping us. Only what they told us was that the license of the former VBS cannot be restored. All what they can do is to give us a new license. They don't mind even if we can call it the VBS, but it won't be the same license. But remember, the assets which the bank has accrued need to be also given to the new bank. Then we can have the refund of all the money to all the people who are being owed. And we continue also collecting the money from the people who have the loans, even the bonds, because this is the bank that has a lot of bonds.
So have you had a look at that creditors book? And also, do you think that all who have wrongly received funds or monies from VBS have been contacted and are likely to pay back that money, Robert?
In fact, you'll remember that the role of the SIU, it's always not transparent to everybody. They protect their job so that nobody must not know what they are doing until they finish. So we hope that they are doing their job. And that's why we are just giving an advice to say, or an appeal to say, let them continue selling the assets of the perpetrator so that they can refund all what is due for the bank.
And just going back to the restoration of the bank that you are advocating for, again, once bitten, twice shy, some would say. Are you absolutely certain that there will not be a repeat of what has happened to VBS Mutual, and that some of your members, shareholders, would once again be burnt if a similar establishment were to see the light of day again?
If you look the history of the bank from 1982 until 2018 or 2016, where all these things started, that was the new people who got into the bank, who make everything mess up the bank. So there are people who are very good in running the bank, and we do have even the history and also the people who were removed from the bank by the people who mess up the bank.
And again, just the final one, Robert, with regard to the shareholders again, you did indicate that perhaps the SIU and other entities are playing their cards quite close to their chest. But in terms of just the information that you have been privy to regarding upcoming court cases, processes of possibly more money being retrieved and returned to the shareholders, are you any clearer than the rest of us on those processes at this point?
What's your question?
I'm asking whether you have been informed of any further processes or possible imminent arrests as shareholders of the former VBS Bank with regard to court cases that may be coming up or possible monies that could still be retrieved in the foreseeable future.
No, there is no information that we get in that area. And I believe the Hawks cannot tell us who is next and who's, that is not by law. I think they have to do their work. All what we are waiting is to see the results of what they are doing.
Well, Robert, thanks so much for your time. Robert Livhoyi is the secretary of the VBS Minority Shareholders Forum, talking to us about the forum's request and the plight of the VBS Bank depositors. And they are requesting perhaps for another look, another chance to revive this particular entity and to do business again, and also for some of the money to be returned to the depositors and shareholders. So you can let us know your thoughts on that as well.